1.
Morning, happy Friday. Almost to the weekend.
Almost there.
Both of us, right?
Yes, almost there. We are almost there. Climbing up that hill. Running up that hill.
Running up that hill.
Yes.
Crawling up that hill at
Yes.
this point. Anyway,
yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Always good to be here. RJ Marquez off for a few days, so obviously well needed, but and deserved. But it's always good to join you here on KNN.
We're happy to have you.
Thank
and you know, KSAT News Now, our bite-sized streaming newscast and daily podcast. We have a lot to get to today.
A lot of news. News doesn't stop. And today we're talking to Go Alcohol, now taking over the San Antonio airport. We'll explain.
And another stimulus check. You may have seen this rumored on TikTok. Some states are taking part, but what about Texas? What about us?
What about us? But of course, we got to get to some big breaking news this morning. President Joe Biden has tested positive for the coronavirus.
The White House press secretary says his symptoms are mild and he's taking the antiviral drug Paxlovid.
She also says he plans to run business as normal via phone and Zoom.
All right, but first, new details in that deadly discovery on Quintana Road here in San Antonio. 2 men have been indicted in the case of the tractor-trailer deaths of 53 migrants.
That's right. 46-year-old Homero Zamorano, Jr. and 28-year-old Cristian Martinez are facing a potential death penalty. They are charged with a total of 4 counts. Now, 2 of those for conspiring to transport illegal aliens, resulting in death and bodily injury, and 2 for the actual transportation resulting in death and bodily injury.
Federal officials say the 2 discussed the smuggling plan over the phone. They say Zamorano was the one actually driving that truck, but if the men are found guilty, they would face a maximum penalty of life in prison or the death penalty.
2 other men are also facing charges in this case.
And that one is one, you know, especially during the summer, where officials are aware that this could happen at any time. It never stops, right? We were in Brooks County over the last a few days, and we know that that's a big corridor for these human smuggling cases. So authorities are always on the lookout for any little thing, including just the weight of the vehicle. So if it's uneven, then that's one of the red flags that they look for. In this case, we know it was discovered by people around the area. But again, the big purpose there is to prevent deaths like this.
Yeah, especially in this heat, just such an awful tragedy that continues to unfold. So hopefully we'll get some more updates as the weeks do go by.
Absolutely. All right, so you may remember that back in 2020, many Americans got some extra cash in their bank accounts. Well, now more than a dozen states are giving out stimulus checks, this time to help with inflation as well as gas prices.
Those gas prices. All right, 14 states have approved legislation for free money and will start sending it out to taxpayers in the next few months.
So California is a state with the biggest payout, with up to $1,050 for qualifying families.
Maine has already started rolling out their stimulus over $850.
So other states, including Colorado, Delaware, Hawaii, New Jersey, and New Mexico, are calling this a relief rebate, again, to help with things like groceries and gas. Their check can range from an extra $200 up to $500.
Now, these numbers look different for each state because much of the money is coming from state budget surplus.
Yeah, some states like Illinois or Idaho are keeping it small, very small when you compare it to others. $50, maybe $75, but hey, it's something, right?
That's a whole tank of gas nowadays.
Yeah.
So what about Texas? Well, we reached out to Governor Abbott's office to see if we could expect anything like this soon, and they sent back this statement.
Yeah, it doesn't really look good. So it says, quote, Governor Abbott has made it a priority to implement long-term economic relief for Texans, such as making an income tax unconstitutional rather than just one-time checks that don't help Texas taxpayers. It goes on to say that he strongly supports using the state's surplus to reduce the amount of property taxes owed and will work with the legislature in the next session to do it in what they call an efficient way that will ensure for years to come rather than a one-time buy down.
You know, but with those gas prices, I can just speak. I mean, we've all kind of experienced, and I hate saying it. I really hate saying pain at the pump. We've been hearing it so often. We even say it just in normal conversation, but it really is a pain having to go pump gas now. It doesn't feel good. It's like, all right, $50, yeah, it's something, but that's really just going to fill up my gas tank. And just right now, Alicia, I was checking the AAA gas prices here in Texas. I believe the state average right now is looking at $3.95, national average $4.44. So it's definitely steep still.
The last time, I think it was about a month ago, what am I talking about? A week ago, when I went to go fill my tank. I think it was $3.66 what I was paying for, which was That was a relief.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Any little bit helps.
Yeah.
Man, if someone give me $20,
oh yeah, that's going straight to gas. 100%. And even Bexar County, I also want to mention here in the county, $3.84. So it's still pretty high for a lot of folks. So obviously we know this cash is really going to help with some relief, but hopefully we won't be having to deal with these ghastly gas prices anymore.
And people also paying a lot to fly, but there is some relief there. If you have any travel plans that will take you to the San Antonio airport, good news, alcohol to go. Yeah, you can raise your glass to that next story. So a new amendment to an ordinance will actually allow San Antonians to take their adult beverage outside of airport restaurants into public terminals. I don't know if this could be good or bad news. You know, I think it could go either way. That is a fair depending on
assessment
what mood you are in before you start drinking. Okay, so City Council amended this ordinance last month, but the change went into effect on June 26th, and there are about 17 restaurants and bar options already in both terminals, so A and B, and this new ordinance will bring those spots in compliance with House Bill 1024, which allows restaurants to sell alcohol to go.
So what are your thoughts on that? Because, you know, this was something that went into effect during the pandemic when we were seeing a lot of these restaurants pivot, and now we're seeing these restaurants inside these airports, or our airport, I should say, San Antonio International, start to pivot and catch up with that compliance.
I don't know. I think there's two sides. So during the pandemic, we saw the to-go.
Right.
And a lot of restaurants owners that I spoke to, they say that this was a big help. If anything, this helped keep their business afloat. But when you talk about an airport, I think it could just, pretty sure it could just make the employees of the airport's job harder.
I can see that.
Because people get silly. Obviously, we've seen stories of people getting aggressive.
Yeah.
So I think it would just...
Especially with some delays. You know, I think delays are already frustrating enough, and you know, obviously you want to make sure that I don't know if there's going to be any particular type of cutoff for anybody in terms of how much they can consume, because obviously alcohol can lead to some pretty messy situations.
Yeah.
So, but definitely something really neat to see. I think I read somewhere that it creates more of a destination spot for San Antonio International Airport. So hopefully we'll see a lot more good come out of this for the airport. We already know they're getting a lot of new restaurants as well, so that'll be interesting to see.
I always like going to La Glorias.
Yes.
That always makes me happy.
I love that. All right, just gonna go to San Antonio International next time.
Exactly. So work is underway at the Spurs' new $500 million campus near Six Flags Fiesta, Texas and I-10. And it's looking good. Yeah, pretty exciting stuff. The facility actually broke ground late last year, but no one has publicly seen what the project has looked like. But RJ Marquez may have an idea. Until now, he got an exclusive K&N sneak peek at the Rock at La Cantera and how it's shaping for the fans, how it's shaping up for the fans, and the future of the Spurs here in San Antonio.
Pounding the rock. It's not just a mantra for the Spurs on the court. It's what construction crews have been doing for months at their new campus on the far northwest side.
Had our groundbreaking in November, and for us it was a big moment in time, and roughly about 6 months later, here we are standing here, and we're actually moving dirt.
Phil Cullen is the Spurs Director of Operations. He gave us an exclusive tour of the construction at the Rock at La Cantera, the future headquarters for the organization.
You know, it's been a journey along the way. We've connected with thought leaders from around the world on how best to design and build, you know, the performance center for the future.
The first level will be primarily for the fans and the community.
So we're going to have an outdoor plaza that we're going to have a video screened as a secondary site to watch our games. Think of arts in the parks, think of your farmers markets. Real opportunity to engage in the family just to come 7 days a week.
The upper level will be for the organization. We were there as crews finished up their first concrete pour upstairs.
We are now standing on the second level of the Rock at La Cantera out here in the northwest side, and directly to the left of me you can see they have poured the concrete for the Spurs practice courts. There's going to be multiple courts out here, and this entire level is going to house the entire Spurs basketball operations.
And in order to recruit and retain the best staff, the best players, you need to be able to offer opportunities such as this.
Cullen says that keeping the culture in place is a team effort.
We have a special responsibility here in our community to make sure that we're representing our community in the right way, and you know, this is an investment from our ownership and our leadership in the future here in San Antonio.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
The goal is to open the Spurs Performance Center and the Frost Bank Event Center Plaza by next summer, and RJ reminded me of Bob the Builder. Oh, yeah, he did. But he looked like he was having a good time out there. And I have to say, with these crews that are out there working in this heat, it is just downright
awful. I mean, it is awful. I mean, we talked about it during Good Morning San Antonio, the earlier editions, Good Morning San Antonio at 9, and I know someone who knows all too well about this heat is meteorologist Justin Horn. Justin.
Bring him in.
What's up, y'all?
What's up? I mean, what's going on with this heat?
It's unrelenting, just doesn't want to give up.
Yeah.
It has been just out of control as of late, and we're still dealing with it. But good thing this morning, guys, we got clouds. Clouds are a good thing because it keeps
a difference.
It does. It keeps temperatures down for at least a little bit.
The good type of shade.
The good type of shade. It's not throwing it at us.
It's not throwing shade. It's good shade.
It's spreading the shade. Yes. I've got a trivia question for you guys this morning with that in mind.
Okay.
So, what is the driest place on Earth? Your choices are Death Valley, the Sahara Desert, the Atacama Desert, or Antarctica.
Antarctica. What?
You know what? I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna say C because I've never heard of that place in my entire life, and it just sounds pretty.
Chile. In Chile.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to choose A, Death Valley, because of the name.
Okay. Good guesses. And Steven, you're not completely wrong. Technically, the correct answer is Antarctica.
Oh my goodness, that was my first choice.
I know it sounds counterintuitive, but
Yeah.
there is a place
Please
there called the
explain.
Dry Valleys where they basically never receive rain. I mean,
Oh my goodness.
it's almost in history. It's never had any rain. Now the
The Dry
Atacama
Valley.
Desert is technically number 2 on the list, and it's the driest place where there is actually people living.
Okay.
But Antarctica, the driest place on Earth.
I'll settle for a second guess, but
Yeah.
you know, hey,
You
that's
were
who would have
close.
thought?
You were close, but those are the 2 driest places. Although I feel like San Antonio has given these places a run for the money this year.
Yeah.
The way things are going.
Death Valley temperature.
Yeah, and to speak to that,
105.
our drought monitor is in, guys, and this is not looking good. So we've got drought basically spreading across the entire state, but most notably right here around South Texas, you can see the exceptional drought is really built in. So even parts of southern Bexar County, west of San Antonio, all of that is in this extreme drought, and it just continues to get worse. And with rain staying out of the forecast, you know what that means. Medina Lake, we always check in there. It's 12% full. It's down 68 feet, and it's down 13 feet over the last month. A lot of people have been asking me, how does this compare to 2011? Well, at one point in 2011, actually 2014, we got down to about 5% full in Medina Lake. So we're getting there, but not quite as dry as it was our last drought. But again, if things continue as they are, we may eventually get there. Temperatures today are going to be around 101 here in San Antonio. We did lower it a degree just because this cloud cover is sticking around. Places across North Texas will actually see cooler weather today because they actually have some rain on the radar at this hour. Some rain around the Red River. We've got some cloud cover up there, and that's going to help temperatures today. You can see some of the rain there. I wish it would move further south, but it does not. It stays well to our north and stays out of our forecast, at least for now. We are getting the clouds, though, and you see the morning clouds have been sticking around the last couple of hours. We're starting to see this cloud deck shrink, and we'll get the sun probably within the next couple of hours, and then we'll start the warming up process. But in the meantime, doesn't feel too bad out there thanks to this cloud cover. 84 degrees at the airport right now, 82 Burning Stage, 84 Canyon Lake. Out in the sun, though, you can see the difference those clouds make. It's already 90 in Gonzales, and it feels warmer than that. Forecast temperatures today, triple digits for most everybody with the exception of the hill country. 101 here in San Antonio, but places like Pleasanton 103, Gonzales 102, and we will be looking at heat indices anywhere from 103 to 106, somewhere in that range a little bit later today, which is not fun. And we've been seeing those kind of numbers really the last several days. Here's the current setup. A lot of heat advisories posted from the desert southwest all the way up to the east coast. Our ridge of high pressure tries to rebuild a little bit to our east. It still keeps us hot, but it does move far enough east by next week where it opens up the door where we could get some disturbances coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. That could be a good thing. It's a little too early to say yet if that'll lead to any significant rain chances, but we have added a small chance in there on Wednesday. 10%. That's all we can give you, but at least it's something. Clouds next few days, at least in the morning, so we'll be up around 100. 102 Sunday, 102 Monday, 101 Tuesday. And we did set a record high minimum temperature this morning, only got down to 81. And yesterday we have officially tied the most days at 100 degrees. We're in third place now with 41 days.
Wow.
You know, usually I don't want to be third place, but let's stay third place.
Yeah.
I hope we do.
But, also, even though we have this cloud coverage, it's still important for anybody outside some sunscreen, so
Oh, yeah.
important.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. The sun's still going to get through, and this afternoon's still going to be brutally hot. It's just we're getting a little reprieve at the moment.
Jeez, we'll try to enjoy it if you can. And you were checking the temps in Death Valley, right?
Yes, 105.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Sounds.
It's been about 120 there every day.
Wow. Holy Toledo.
What?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not a fan of
No.
any of this. And all that red over the state of Texas just has me feeling some type of way. I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
angry about it, but hopefully we'll have some relief at some point down the line.
You always make me laugh.
It's awful. And also, for those crews out there working,
Yeah.
you know, we talked about it, the TxDOT crews, anybody that has their job outside has to battle this heat. It's just unbearable. So hopefully they can stay safe and stay shady.
Amen.
Shady.
Stay shady.
Stay shady.
Stay shady, San Antonio.
Stay shady, San. Yeah, I like that. Should be a new slogan at this point.
There we go.
Stay shady,
Justin,
San
thank you
Antonio.
so much.
Thanks, Justin.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
You know
this
what?
Thursday, this Friday Eve.
I like it so much, I think I'll do it again tomorrow. Yes, I'll join you tomorrow if you'll have me. I think RJ
Absolutely.
Also, our producer Alyssa asked me, so I'll definitely be here. So
Don't get too
So
excited.
yes, we'll be back on tomorrow. So obviously this has been great, and the great thing is we have that the podcast as well. You can listen to us
Absolutely.
anywhere you can get podcasts.
Like RJ says, hit us with that like, rate, subscribe.
Hit us with that like, rate, and subscribe. Give us 2 thumbs up.
There you go, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Make it a great one.